Well, it was actually only been like 2 minutes since I've actually played this. I just wanted to get a little bit of my bearings straight a little bit before jumping right into the tea party. But let's go ahead and do that. Let's do it. Episode 3. Tea party. Okay.
まさか最後の最後でベルンカステル教の駒が乱入してくるとは。
Okay.
あんたとのゲームにふさわしい駒を随分あちこち探し回ったよ。
It's usually in the question mark part, but whatever.
きっと気に入ってもらえると思うわ。何よあの駒。誰よあいつ。何者よ。名乗らないなんてずるいわよ。
That's what the credits are for, and it tells me.
ねえ、あんたもそう思うでしょ。
わらわは大体察しはついておるが、というか普通わかるであろう。
普通？わかんないわよ。初登場のキャラでしょ。名乗らなかったら私もプレイヤーもみんなわかんないわよね。
Oh my god. Fuck this wall. I don't need this fourth wall.
レアと教えてあげなくていいわよ。
I mean, credits are really helpful when a character doesn't say their name. So it's really easy to pick out the one odd name out of it.
え？面白い子でしょ。
ラムダデルタ教の天真爛漫にして天然なところは
何よ何よ。なんで私にだけ教えてくれないのよ。いいじゃあ私だけが気づいたとっておきの秘密を特別に教えてあげるわ。
Oh god.
だから教えなさいよ。
I don't even want to begin to guess what her secret is.
ほう、とっておきの秘密とな。聞きたいぞ聞きたいぞ。
だ。
Oh my god.
教えてほしかったら先にあの女の正体を教えるのよ。
Oh my god.
私の知った秘密はすごいわよ。何しろサンタさんの正体が実はお父さんだったってくらいすごいんだから。あら言っちゃった。ごめんなさいね。天地がひっくり返るくらいびっくりしちゃったでしょ。
Oh my, that's not her secret.
ラムダのとこにはお父さんが来てたの？来てたのってどういう意味よ。サンタクロース教は心の綺麗な子供のところへしか訪れないのに、あんたのとこには来なかったのね。
Oh shit.
まあサンタクロース教は寛大であるからな。よっぽどの大悪党でもない限りプレゼントを恵んでくださるよ。何しろわらわにもくれたくらいだからな。
成長して心がすさんでくると来なくなるのよね。レアタのとこにはいくつくらいまで来てたの
872.
12歳くらいまでは来ておったぞ。乙女心に目覚めると急にサンタ教が来るのがなんだか恥ずかしくなってな。
Okay, that's
これまであ
interesting.
りがとうございました。もう結構です。だから最後のプレゼントは奮発してくださいと手紙を置いたら、ちょっぴり期待したのだがな。ベルンカステル教はいつくらいまで来ていたのか。
私結構早かったっけ。確か9歳頃ね。なんかあのヒゲが無性にムカついてちょん切ってやろうと布団の中で裁縫バサミ構えて待ってた。
Oh my god.
痛いお年頃よね。
Oh my god, you're terrifying.
で、ラムダデルタ教には物心ついてからサンタクロース教がおいでになったことがない。普通は小学校高学年から中学校くらいまでの間までは来るものである。
ある意味お医者で見てもらった方がいいわよ。早熟すぎると 心身の成長に悪影響があるらしいから。ああ、確かに出てるわね。
Jesus Christ.
悪影響。何の話をしてるのよ、あんたたちは。
Good lord.
魔女も3人集まれば実にかしましい。
この程度のレベルの秘密じゃ聞く価値もなさそうね。私もう行ってもいい？次のゲームの準備をしなくちゃならないから。
Thanks, Burn.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。あの女の正体を教えなさいよ。じゃああなたのとっておきの秘密を先に教えなさいよ。見合うものだったら教えてあげるわ。いいわよ、教えてあげるわ。とっておきの秘密なんだから。
I doubt it.
ほら、今回のゲームで黄金を見つけて新しい魔女になった子がいたでしょ。
Let me guess. You helped her.
あやつに一体どんな秘密があるというのか。
あの子の正体にね、私気づいちゃったの。
Fuck off. Fuck off.
みんなにはわかるかしら。ヒントはね、喋り方にあったのよ。ほら、あの子よく口にしてたでしょ。なんとかしちゃえばって。そう、この語尾がポイントだったのよ。エバそうあいつの正体は後ろ宮エヴァだったのよ。
Oh, that's so bad.
驚いちゃったかしら。
I would laugh so hard if Fern just disappeared.
ほう、それは気づかなかった。そのようなところにヒントがあったとはな。
ベアトって付き合いがいいのね。その子増長するからほどほどになさいよ。
Really?
じゃあね。
Yes.
席を外すわ。
She did.
ちょっと私の秘密だけ聞いてあんたが喋んないなんてずるいわよ。
That wasn't that much of a secret.
あんたもあの女の正体を話しなさいよ。
I mean,
あんたの秘密がすごすぎて釣り合わないわ。
oh my god, that's
じ
amazing.
ゃあ代わりに私もとっておきの秘密を教えてあげるわ。日暮らしの泣く頃にってゲームの犯人の名前を教えてあげる。
Wow. Fucking spoiler alert.
言わないでよ。私今プレイしてるとこなの。じゃあね、ベアト、紅茶美味しかったわ。あとお茶菓子のクラッカーだけどジャムのレパートリーが足りないわ。たまにはコチュジャンでも用意しなさい。ロシアンティーにもぴったりだし。じゃあね。
そうか、わかったぞ。試してみよう。次のゲームの準備が整ったら
That's simply amazing.
それまでゆっくり戦略でも練るがいい。
ええ、そうするわ。今回のゲームはなかなか面白かったわ。じゃあね。ちょっと待ちなさいよ。教えなさいよ。
Yes. That's amazing.
いやいや、本当にお二人は仲が良い。
Poor Lambda.
ええ、そうよ。大好きよ、ベルンカステル。愛してるとさえ言ってもいいわ。あの瞳をえぐり出して私以外を映さないようにしてやりたい。
That's a statement.
それは本当に素敵よね。紅茶に沈めても素敵かもしれない。
ラムダデルタ教をここまで夢中にさせるとは。わらわも責任重大であるな。しかし今回は実に惜しかった。
Feels up to me, I would have fucking beat you.
あと一息でバトラーをコロリといけたもの。
Yeah, fuck you.
ベアと 一個聞いていい？
なんであるか？あの女の名前は教えるぞ。
いつまでチャラけてんのよ。
What the fuck?
あんた勝つ気あんの？
Lambda threatened her with a low voice that she had never used in front of Burn. It completely blew away the calm atmosphere that had been there until a moment ago.
私はね、ベルンカステルに勝てる魔女ってことであんたに肩入れしてんのよ。あんたにベルンカステルに勝てる力がない。いつだって私はあんたなんか見捨てるんだからね。
これは敵です。わらわの何がご不満なのか。
Talk about a fucking tone shift.
今日もご存知の通り、わらわのゲーム版は完璧だ。ベルンカステル教に決して勝てはせん。
そうよ。あんたのゲーム版は実に見事よ。ベルンカステルは100年はおろか1000年を費やそうとも絶対に勝つこともできない。だから私はそれを借りることに引き換えにあんたを魔女にしてやったのよ。私があんたの後見人をやめればあんたはすぐに人間に逆戻り。どんなにすごい魔力を持っていてもあんたはかりそめの魔女でしかないから、決して忘れないことを。
分かっておる。
Really?
そなたに感謝しておる。
タメ口聞かないでよ。ベルンカステルがいるときは許すからいないときは許さないわ。あんた最近私の恩を忘れてるでしょ。
そんなことは。
It's fucking terrifying.
やっぱ気持ち悪いわ。いつもの喋り方でいい。でも口の聞き方には注意してる。私案外短気よ。
I don't doubt it.
話を戻すわ。あんたのゲーム版は実に完璧。ベルンカステルを容易に任すことができるでしょうよ。しかしあの子は簡単に屈服しない。何度でも挑んでくるわ。
問題はない。ラムダデルダ教のお墨付きではない。わらわのゲーム版は完璧。
そうよ。完璧よ。プレイヤーであるあんたが完璧ならね。
どういう
どういう意味？あんたのゲームには遊びが多い。
She does.
それは時にベルンカステルを煙に巻くから。あんたなりの策略なんだと私も最初は思ってた。でもなんだか違う気がするの。あんた勝てる試合をもてあそんでるんじゃなくて勝っても負けてもどうでもいいって思ってるんじゃない？
バカバカしい。そんなことあるわけなかろう。
いいこと。あんたの役目はベルンカステルを屈服させることよ。つまりゲームに永遠に勝者でいること。あなたが絶対の勝者であり続けようとする限り私は絶対の魔女としてあなたに力を与えるの。でももしあなたが自らの敗北の可能性を否定しないような戦い方をしているなら話は変わるわよ。
My god.
もちろんこれはゲームである。わらわが勝てばベルンカステル教が負けるように、向こうが勝てばわらわが負ける日もあるだろう。常に敗北の可能性はあり得る。
Yeah, she's not gonna like that at all.
だからこそわらわは
だからあんたは使えないのよ。あんたはゲーム版である必要なんかない。ベルンカステルは永遠にここに閉じ込める鳥かごでさえあればいいの。鳥かごの役目は中の小鳥を絶対に逃がさないことよ。 悪役としての遊びやフェイクを許す。今回有効だったところもあるしね。
Fakes.
でももしあなたが勝ち以外を望むような指し手をしたら、その時は素敵な覚悟をなさいね。
そのようなことはせん。スカウト。
もともと魔女ですらないあんたが本当はどんなにみすぼらしい存在だったか、いつだって思い出させてあげるんだから。私の期待を裏切ったら、その時は楽しい罰ゲームが待ってるわよ。100億のかけら世界の中から最も惨めなかけらにあんたを送り込んで封印してあげる。あんたはもともとが惨めだから、惨めなかけらも実に選べがいがあるわ。愛してるわ、ヘルンカステル。ベアトリーチェの鳥かごで好きなだけあがいて、もはや逃れられないことを1000年かけて知りなさい。そしてあなたが来るとしたら、私の手のひらでしか泣けないようにたっぷりと仕込んであげるんだ。
She's absolutely terrifying. Good lord. Hey, Uncle Mio. Good lord, that's fucked. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to go up against her again. Time for some question marks. "12 years later. October 4th, 1998. Interesting. First time it's actually gone in the future. A monotonous electric sound kept on repeating. The room was colored with hygienic tones and, or other words, an emotionless white. It was a room at a certain university hospital. Neither her doctor nor the person herself had any doubts that this room, which had a price so high that no commoner could afford to spend a single night there, would be the last room she ever saw. Was that person on the bed Ava? Even if someone told you that was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn out. The well-built man in a suit waiting in the corner near the door was having a whispered conversation through an intercom with someone else. He was a guard protecting Ava's person. After telling the person on the other end of the intercom to wait, he approached Ava's bed. Ava had been awake for a short while. However, she stared at a single point in empty space as though her mind was not in the same place.
Angie さんが下のロビーに到着しました。お通ししてよろしいですか?
So it's Ange. For a long time, Ava didn't answer. However, bit by bit, her eyes began to regain their focus and she gave a small nod, indicating that she didn't mind if they called Ange. It had been Ava who called her, and she was right on time. By this point, Ava would refuse anyone who wanted a meeting without an appointment. The room was dark, even though it was still light outside, because the curtains were always closed. There were always one guard waiting in the room, and 3 more waiting in the corridor and the lobby. Jesus. Why? They were all there to protect Ava's person. I mean, she has a lot of money, but who's going to kill her? Eventually, there's the sound of a knock. Also, there was a message from the intercom that the guest body check had been completed with no problems. The door was unlocked and opened, and a high school-aged girl was standing there.
会長、エンジさんがいらっしゃいました。
Oh, she's a chairman. Ava reacted and turned her face toward the guest. However, instead of reacting to the guard's call, maybe it would be better to say that she reacted to the smell of Ange's makeup. After being shut up in this room for so long, Ava was sensitive to even small changes in smell.
来たわね、エンジ。
来たわ。呼ばれたから。
On Ava's face, there was no trace of a person warmly welcoming their niece. And on Angie's face, you couldn't see the expression of one pleased to meet with her aunt. Ava waved her arm, which had grown as thin as a withered branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. The guard bowed silently and went out into the hall.
暗い上に空気もひどいわ。
Love you too,
カー
Ange.
テンでも開けたら。
そうすると、あんたの依頼した殺し屋が窓越しに撃ってくるって寸法なのかしら。
あんたの暗殺依頼なら私が受けたいわ。家でのんびりほんの一月も過ごしてれば勝手に任務が終わるもの。
Ouch. I mean, to be fair, she did kill Ange's entire family, so understandable. Though I don't know how she would know that. Well, I mean, if the police would know about it, so that's fair. So I guess, like, being the only one to survive, you have to assume the one to survive killed everyone else. Their discussion was quite morbid for an adult and aunt and niece. However, they didn't look like they were joking. At the very least, Ava believed that someone was after her life. All of the Ushirimiya family's massive fortune had come into the possession of Ushirimiya Ava. It was said that this fortune also included 10 tons of hidden gold that Ushirimiya Kenzo was rumored to have hidden. With his vast wealth that lay in Ava's cunning, sly, and suspicious hands, no one was able to complain. But it was rumored that as soon as it was passed on to Angie, who was no more than a young girl, certain people were plotting to snatch it away. By now, Ava and Angie were Kinzo's only descendants. If Ava died, all the wealth would go to Angie. And if Angie were then to be killed as well, that wealth would go to the family of Angie's mother, Kyrie. In this sense, not only Ava but Angie as well were in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. And Ava had hated Angie for a long time. Why? This was because she knew that after losing her only precious son, George, the inheritor of her own wealth would be none other than the girl who had been absent at family conference 12 years ago. So? And who had survived. Ava shunned Ange, disliked her, and even hated her. She isolated Angie in a special school and separated her from the youth and happiness normal people have, trying to keep her as a pet until death. Jesus. Actually, I need to check on some dead people. Battler shot by Ava inside the mansion. The weapon was a Winchester from Kinzo's collection. Jessica had lost her eyesight, alone with Battler. Wolves and sheep puzzle. She certainly was joined with Kenna in the Golden Land. They had both apologized for their cowardice, communicating their true and honest feelings, and they hugged each other until their final moments. Afterwards, she was chewed to pieces by demons and went to hell. It's alright, Cannon is with her. Angie, the daughter of Rudolph and Kyrie, Battler's younger sister from a different mother. She hasn't come in contact with Battler often, but is extremely fond and respectful of him. She was sick and absent during the family conference, so she always ends up surviving in solitude. A very unfortunate girl whose heart is in tatters. Has a bad habit of always walking around with massive amounts of cash, throwing it out to whoever comes first. Hey, how you doing, Angie? How you doing? Hey, I'd love to get to know her a little bit better. Free money. However, Ava had succumbed to an incurable illness, and ironically, her remaining life was estimated to be the same as Kinzo's had been at the family conference 12 years ago. Both Ava and Ange hated each other. Even though they were each other's last blood relatives, they hated each other so much that they hoped the other would die quickly.
それでわざわざ呼びつけてなんのよ。
私はもう長くない。ヤブ医者どもは未だに私が盛られた毒が何かも検出できない。
Oh, she's crazy.
分かってるの。きっと某国の諜報機関で使われてた秘密の暗殺薬なのよ。
Yeah, those goddamn KGBs.
ああ、私は殺されるのよ。殺されるのよ。
Oh, what a shame.
よかったわね。もうじき死ぬわよ。そうすればさぞやあなたの胸がすくでしょうね。
It's always good for a murderer to die.
かわいそうな人。
This always happened. They immediately deviated from the named topic, distorting it into a more unsettling discussion. Ava, who was absolutely paranoid, believed that someone was always after her life. In actual fact, after inheriting the vast wealth of the Ushirime family, she had used wild methods just like Kenzo had done in the past, repeatedly making money by any means necessary and creating many enemies along the way. With a massive supply of capital, she had plotted to aggressively buy businesses that were starting to have rapid growth, making them buy it back at a high price under the guise of reconciliation. Ironically, it was the same type of action that her husband's company had been hit with 12 years ago. She'd repeated this constantly for 12 years. She'd also earned a lot of hatred. If her husband had heard of this from beyond the grave, he might have defended her, saying that the loneliness from losing her family fueled her actions. However, of all the people who knew her now, none would defend her. For some time, Ava eloquently spoke of how her life was being targeted, listing off names of people who hated her, and sneered at the fact that she still hadn't been killed, even though Angie heard her own name included on that list. There was no particular change in her expression, and she waited indifferently for Ava to tire herself out.
私はね、憎いのよ。
Fuck you too, spit on her.
光栄ね。私もよ。
ジョージのために気づいた未来だっ
What a shame.
た。それをあんたにかすめ取られるなんて。ルドルフの娘に奪われるなんて。
You shouldn't have fucking killed people.
私は悔しい。子も残せず、財産すらもそれが許せない。
だったら財産全部お布施にでもしちゃえば。お百度踏んでた宗教系の連中はどうしたのよ。
連中はみんな言うのよ。多すぎる財産が私の負担になっている。決まって。だから預けて清める必要があるとか言い出すのよ。それで思いついたのよ。寄付はやめたわ。
Beautiful. For a time, Ava had searched for the founders of several strange and new religious cults, perhaps seeking peace in her heart. But they gave her heart no relief. And if anything, they ended up increasing her paranoia further.
お金が余ってるならサラブレッド買い占めてコンビーフでも作れば。
それよりもっと面白いことを思いついたのよ。いろいろ悩んだわ。どうやればあなたをひどい目に遭わせられるかをね。
Go into crippling debt?
殺してしまおうとも思った。
Okay, well that too.
あるいはすべての財産を消し去り、あなたを無一文にして後ろ宮家から叩き出してやろうかとも思ったわ。
Oh my god, you were a horrible human being.
素敵でしょ。お上品に育てられたご令嬢が腐ったパンや泥水を這いつくばって漁り回るのよ。ああ。
You were a horrible human being.
楽しい。
楽しいわ。あなたを怯えさせるのはね。でももうじき私は死ぬわ。
Good.
だから私が死んだ後もどうやってあなたを苦しませ続けるか考えたの。そうしたら案外単純なことだったわ。それをあなたに話したくて呼んだのよ。
そろそろ中間近いんだけど。
Damn.
手短にね。
Same here, Angie. Same here.
すべての財産を相続することにしたわ。
Okay.
それどころか私が死ぬ最後のどこまでも財産を増やして膨れに膨らませてあなたに相続することにしたのよ。
Yeah, that would be so painful for me.
それがどういうことか想像がつくかし
It would be painful if this country had an inheritance tax. That would be painful.
わかんないわ。バカだから。
Oh, she's gonna say it's like, you know, blood money and all that shit. This is the money I got from killing your parents and your brother.
そうよね。わかんないでしょうね。楽しみにしてなさいよ。本当に楽しいわよ。お金持ちは。毎日日本中の妖怪が朝から晩まで遊びに来るわよ。あんたの私生活はこれからはすべてワイドショーと週刊誌が覗き見してくれるわ。何をしてもしなくてもマスコミは必ず私を批判する。施せばブルジョワだと叩かれ、渋れば主戦度だと罵られる。本当に素敵な毎日よ。
Yeah, because you just don't give a fuck what the media says.
そんな日々に若くて先の長いあなたをぜひ招待してあげようと思いついたの。
Sure.
本当に素敵でしょ。
あんたのしてきたことに対する世間の正当な評価でしょ。
そうね、そうでしょうね。いいわ。好きなだけ私を罵るといいわ。そしてその評価をあなたが背負うのよ。製品が善人、金持ちは死ねというのが日本の文化。
Then what are you waiting for?
あんたはやがて何をしてもしなくても日本中から妬みと恨みの象徴に祭り上げられていく。そんな生活の中で生きていくあなたのこれからの人生は。
I mean, she could also just move countries as well. I mean, she has a fuck ton of money.
あんたの味方は誰もいない。あんたの悩みなど誰も聞かない。
I would. Why not?
あなたを罵ることは公然としたスポーツになる。そしてそれを誰も止めない。ああ、エンジェああ、本当に楽しみよ。あんたはどんな人生を送ってどう終えるのかしら。世界中の誰も信用できず、誰も愛せず、誰とも語り合えない人生を、その苦労話を持って地獄へ落ちてくるのを私はのんびりと
Die. Her insane laughter turned into a painful cough. Without changing expression in the slightest, looking completely unconcerned, Angie stared at the only survivor of Rokenjima. Perhaps because he found the... What? Oh, okay, I get this. Perhaps because he found the violent coughing suspicious, the guard gave a short knock on the door and rushed in at the same time. Angie glanced at him wordlessly, making it clear that she didn't intend to move a step from where she was. Angie was prepared for some kind of trap to frame her in Ava's death. However, that was fortunately a needless fear. As the guard rubbed Ava's back, he poured hot water from a thermos into her mug. As he did, Ava kept coughing, apparently in pain. Angie figured that this was probably the last she'd see of the Rokenjima witch's final days. Eventually the coughing subsided and Ava regained her normal breathing. However, the glittering madness inside her eyes hasn't subsided in the slightest.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名を今こそあなたに譲るわ。魔女の名にふさわしい狂って歪んだ生涯を楽しみなさい。
そんなのいらないわ。それより教えて。あの日六軒島で何があったの？
She's not gonna tell you.
事故があったなんて私は信じない。あの日に何があったのか、父さんと母さんと兄さんがどうして死んだのか、本当。あ
あ、それが一番の嫌がらせよね。1986年の今日、なんて言葉を残して3人が死んだのか知りたいわよね。おし
God.
呪われた黄金は残す。でもね、あんたが望む真相は私が地獄まで持っていくわ。それがあんたにできる一番の嫌がらせよ。悔しい？聞きたければ地獄まで行ってあんたの家族に聞いてみるといい。なら今すぐ死なないとね。今すぐへそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。
That laugh continued until she started coughing again. And that cough did not subside until she started moaning and going into convulsions. Good. Fuck her. She's a horrible person. October 4th, 1986. On Rokenjima, the Ushirimiya family's customary and final family conference was held. On the next day, October 5th, an extremely unfortunate accident occurred and the Ushirimiya family was wiped out. Fortunately, Ava escaped from that and inherited almost all of the family's fortune. However, due to many turbulent rumors surrounding the Ushirimiya family, the way Ava acted afterwards, and her unnatural actions at the time of the unfortunate accident, the public was in an uproar over whether this might have been a conspiracy to get all the inheritance for herself. Under the pressure from the public, prosecutors rapidly tried to investigate the matter. And the media began tracing the outline of a conspiracy they called the Rokenjima suspicion. But in the end, they weren't able to find proof that this unfortunate accident was a crime. It's because the only one alive is her. However, because the media continued to give the impression that the Rokenjima's suspicion was a conspiracy of Ava's, public opinion began to believe that she was the true culprit. Of course, this also influenced the bad impression caused by all the easily condemnable, overbearing financial activity, which she had carried out using that vast wealth. Every time she did something that the rumors started spreading to the media would bring back the Rokenjima's suspicion. Blaming the criminal justice system by saying that she was the true culprit and the only reason she hadn't been arrested was because even the police had been bribed. They probably were in this case. To the impression that she was what? So the impression that she was a great villain grew stronger and stronger. Her heart eventually degenerated. And ironically, it began to transfigure her into a kind of a human that the public expected. By now, Ava had no one she could trust and no family. After her beloved husband passed away, the talk shows occasionally mentioned his company, saying that it was run recklessly while criticizing and disgracing its former accomplishments. Even her beloved son, George, was dramatized as the stereotypical rich, lazy son that the public expected. And no one even wanted to know what a simple and honest character he had possessed. As to how much all of this hurt Ava and ran her to ruin, no one cared. The public was only interested out of curiosity about how a super rich evil woman who killed her family lived her pitiful years. So that happened more and more, and eventually, Ava's personality transfigured until people started calling her a lunatic. It was said that this sometimes reminded her of her father, whom she had once admired in his later years, and that she laughed at herself with scorn. And on the day of that final family conference, because Rudolph's daughter Ange had been sick and had stayed with her mother's family, she had not participated. At the age of 6, she had lost her family and had gained Ava as her guardian. Since Angie had become Ava's only blood relative, Ava took very good care of her. She had imposing guards surrounding Angie's person at all times to prevent her from coming to harm. Angie had even her right to play with friends, to come home from school together and to enjoy the seasons together stolen away, so that she can live a full and pleasant school life. Ava had sent Ange to an elegant boarding school that took care of her every need, completely isolating her from the world. She didn't even know the popular songs that girls at her age might hum. She was never given a chance to enjoy window shopping with her friends or stuffing her mouth with crepes, much less an encounter with a member of the opposite sex to make her heart throb. Angie did not have a single friend. If anyone carelessly acted friendly with Ange, they would be scolded by the guards or else the teacher. All of them were strictly ordered not to let shabby humans approach the daughter of the esteemed Ushirimiya family. During that time, the talk shows were always mentioning Ava, always spreading rumors about her countless financial misdeeds. Those who knew about her, who her daughter was, naturally began to keep their distance. Even now, she was called a witch at school, and anytime something bad happened, even if there was no proof, it would be whispered as though it were absolute truth, that she had imposed her will on the school staff. The environment makes the person. By now, she had a heart as wild as those around her feared. No one trusted her, so she never bothered to believe in anyone. No one loved her, so she never even tried to love. And when Ava caught an incurable disease on top of all of this, it was whispered that this too was a conspiracy at the time. Ange was set up as the mastermind. Everyone whispered that the daughters of witches are witches too. Even the talk shows and the weekly magazines whispered that. So Angie also accepted it as though it was as though it was obviously true. Therefore, since she already believed that she was a witch, when she heard that the name of the Golden Witch was being turned over to her, she only felt like saying, "You just figured that out now?" However, she was at least sure of one thing. The title of which she had inherited would definitely never be inherited by anyone else. She would be the last head of the Ushirimiya family and the last lonely Golden Witch. Don't sell yourself short, Ange. You could find a nice guy. You're a wonderful little girl. Young girl. Woman. Angie could be seen on the roof of a skyscraper, compared to the wind of the world that had beaten down upon her until now. This strong cold wind was warm and pleasant. Below her lay a beautiful nighttime scene and a dazzling river of red and white lights. It was supposed to be clear out at that night, so there really should have been countless stars stretching out over the sky. However, the light from the ground was too bright, so you couldn't see them all. Ange couldn't help but think that what she truly sought must lie in that unseen starlight. The world of reality below her looked so far from here. She could imagine that this place was the closest to the world she really should be in. There was only one thing that Angie cursed. Why had she not been able to go to that family conference on that day 12 years ago? Even though if she had gone, it would have probably been possible for her to stay with her family forever. Lately, she'd been dreaming about her family over and over again. That's called depression. The person I was 12 years ago calls out frantically, urging them not to go to the family conference. But both Dad and Mom are too far away and my hand won't reach them. Battler always loved me a lot, and he'd always pat my head. But even though it looks like that hand's about to touch me, even it does not reach. For some reason, I started having that dream over and over. Every time I had about the same dream, I uselessly tried to stretch out my hand even more forcefully over and over. Even if only Battler had lived. Then perhaps we'd at least be able to support each other in my cold and lonely reality, but his hand never reaches me. Even if I climb to a roof of this tall building, I'm so far away from all of them. A mysterious girl appears in my dreams and urges me. She urges me to find the truth of what happened 12 years ago.
父さんたちにあの日何があったのかを知ることができたなら帰ってきてくれるのはせめて誰かが
There was no way that anyone would answer that question for her. I get it. In this world, I have no family or friends, so let's go. Let's go home. To where my family is. Oh my god. From the start, Angie's figure had been out on the side of the fence, on the outer side of the fence. The scenery below her eyes was distant, beautiful, so fantastical that it actually didn't give rise to fear. If I look down, I'll surely be swallowed up by the world below. So I looked up, because I wanted to be taken to the world above where my family was. Who cares about vast wealth? Who cares about cursed gold? Who cares about the Golden Witch Beatrice? What I really want, even a mountain of gold couldn't get me. What I need for that is to take a single step forward, just that little bit of courage. Oh my god, this is fucked. Ugh. At that moment, I definitely heard a voice. It was a voice I knew. A voice that had called to me in my dreams for so long. Don't do it. Before my eyes, in other words, in midair floating above the jet-black nighttime sky, there was a figure of the girl I'd seen in my dreams. She spoke again with the same voice I'd heard in those dreams.
あなたの助けが必要なの。私の助け？誰が？あなたの家族がよ。あなたの家族。永遠に12年前の今日から明日に閉じ込められているの。それを救えば、私の家族は帰ってくるの？
When I asked the question I'd most wanted the girl cruelly stopped talking and hung her head.
それは約束できないの。できる。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチ。強大な相手に私も太刀打ちできない。でも同じ黄金の魔女ならなんとかなるかもしれん。何の話かわからないわ。1986年のベアトリーチェに1998年最後のベアトリーチェだけ。つまりあなたエンジェ・ベアトリーチェ12年前の魔女が私の家族を奪ったの。
Again.
そうあなたの敵にあなたに常に孤独な未来を強いる元凶よ。私の家族の敵。見返りにあなたの望む最も理想的な世界。家族でも必ず希望が叶うと約束はできない。
Thank you, Burn.
1986年のベアトリーチェのゲーム版。
Nothing's perfect.
今日の手土産にその理想のかけらを持参しようとしたんだけれど、今かなりの強固な運命がラムダデルタと戦った時以来の。
I have no idea what you're talking about.
わからない。
There you go. Thank you, Angie.
あなたに復讐のチャンス。
I hope she does another knee paw for her.
見返りにあなたに享受できる可能性の中で最も幸せな結末を探して持ってくることを約束するわ。復讐徒労になるかもしれない。仮に復讐を成し遂げられたとしても家族が帰ってくる絶対の保証はない。
Of course not.
奇跡的確率でせいぜい一人を連れ戻せるかどうかよ。
Angie understood the meaning of that dream. The dream where it seemed that just a little more stretching her hand might be able to reach at least Battler.
奇跡的な確率でもそれはゼロよりは高いのよね。1% くらい。
Probably less than that.
あらゆる可能性の数値は結果の前に無力。
Not necessarily.
だからその数字私には語ることができない。でも私が何もしないよりは絶対にわずかな可能性がある。あなたの希望を捨てない限りただし覚悟し、それは限りなくゼロに近い。
As long as it's not zero, that's all I need.
いいわ。
Hell, anyone saying it's impossible for me, at least. Don't know about Angie. When someone says something's impossible, I end up doing it because that's just I am. That's how I am. Whatever you say is impossible, I'll fucking do it. Because I'll put all my effort into it. And prove that it's not impossible.
いいのよ。多分もう二度とここへは帰ってこれないわよ。ここは私のいるべき世界じゃないわ。そして私のいるべき世界は私が自分で探す。あなたの名前を聞かせて。奇跡の魔女ベルンカスト。そしてあなた黄金の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェだと認める。今こそあなたが本当の魔女。
The instant she proclaimed that I was a witch, I felt dizzy as though something inside me had changed drastically. At that time I heard a clunk. It was the sound of the door that had opened to the staircase to the roof. It was on Ava's guards. They're only guards in name. Aren't they the cage that wraps it the tightest around me, shutting me in? They saw that I was already on the other side of the fence and dashed forward horrified.
20マルタイ発見。
It's a little late for that.
屋上応援求む。エンジェさん探しましたよ。そこは危ないですから早くこちらへ。
Yeah, it's dangerous to be right on the edge of a fucking building.
なにあれファンクラブ。私結構モテるの。
We're actually getting a song now. Ooh. I mean, shit's about to get real.
捕まる必要はないわよ。行きましょう。
Looking annoyed, Byrne turned on her heels in the jet black sky. Watching that perfectly casual gesture, I followed her as though it was completely normal.
エンジェさん待ちなさい。早まるな。ハウライ。
ああ、ダメね。全然ダメ。じゃあまたね。See you again。迎えにはリムジンを残してちょうだい。
Oh my god.
みんなも一緒だから。じゃあね。
エンジェさん。
Yeah, she's dead. God damn. Ooh, I'm hyped fucking for episode 4 now. I thought this song would actually go longer. That was a good ending of question marks. It was kind of weird though, because usually question marks are just the witches talking while tea parties are the characters, and this was like kind of almost swapped around. Regardless, hopefully we get to work with little sister now. Get to know her a little better. Anything else? New game board added. Next episode. Oh boy. I always love a new episode. Let's hope next episode's not gonna be too bad. Ugh. What does this new scene look like? Oh. Just the portrait. I want to see what this is. Oh, the last one in this as well. Alliance of the Golden Witch. Good morning. How shocking that you haven't been forced into surrender even now. By this point, even I am forced to expect a lot from you. Not all the game takes place on the board. How about taking a little peek at the outside this time around? They say that if you know your enemy, need to not fight 100 battles. Yep. Difficulty level depends on you. The manner in which you fought up until now will greatly influence the difficulty of the game. Hopefully, that lowers the difficulty then. I have no idea. Someone will tell me. Someone will tell me if I'm going to make it harder or not on myself. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Next episode is going to be my theory and my plan on solving the epitaph. Because, as I said last episode, that I do plan on solving it by episode 4. I'll have like a nice little sheet and PowerPoint. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'll do with it. I'll have something. I'll have a bunch of slides probably. And show like all of my evidence of what I think is going on. Now, of course, I don't want anyone to tell me if I'm right or wrong. Like, even if I'm 100% right on everything, I don't want someone to tell me I'm right. For the sheer fact I want the game to tell me I'm right. So I can have that moment of elation of like, yes, tell me how much I'm right. God, I love that. And, thank you guys for telling me it's impossible, because I'm gonna fucking solve it now. I have a nice plan on how to. And hopefully, it's gonna just be a combination of just brute force and luck. Hopefully it'll work out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.